Welcome to a special edition of the Muskie Sports Blast Inside the Huddle. I'm Sports Information Director Tom Caudell, and joining me today to preview the 2010 Muskingum baseball season is Muskingum head coach Gregg Thompson. Coach, you returned 7 of your top 8 hitters and 3 of your top 4 pitchers, plus your saves leader from a team that won 23 games in 2009. You've got to be excited about the 2010 campaign.
Well, you know, we're a veteran group. The guys that we do return have proven that they can play at this level. The high conference is awfully tough day in and day out. And, you know, the competition, that we're going to play throughout the year, we've increased the strength of our schedule because I think we have a veteran group. But, anytime you can put Wes Carter in your leadoff spot, Brock Whiteman in your 3-hole, and Nathan Van Meter and those guys at the top of your rotation, we're excited about what the chances are for this year.
You mentioned 3 seniors there. The senior class, a very special class. Besides Whiteman, Carter, and Van Meter, also Josh Cornwell, Ben Skelly, and Jared Patterson. Can you talk about this group of young men and what they mean to the program?
Well, these guys have gone through the program. They've put their time in. They've taken some lumps early on and really put up here in the last couple of years, put up some really good numbers. Josh has come out of nowhere for a guy who didn't even pitch as a freshman to be our saves leader last year. He's an everyday guy. Jared Patterson, left-hander at the top of our rotation, Division I transfer, knows how to pitch. And I think one of our keys is how consistent Ben Skelly can be. And being his 4th year, we need him to have a big year and be able to pitch as a senior and get quality innings. The other 3 that we talk about with Carter, Whiteman, and Van Meter, they've gotten all the accolades here. I think they're well deserved, and I'm looking for big years out of those guys.
We touched base with the senior class, but this team has more than seniors on it. It has a wealth of undergraduate talent on here. Just some of the names to throw at you: Jared Whittington, Tyler Hardcastle, Eric Spitzer, Ike Free, Colton Newell. Talk about the underclass guys and how they mend in there with the upperclassmen.
Well, we got some guys that played as freshmen and their first years in the program. You look at Colton Newell, Jared Whittington, and Tyler Hardcastle, their first year with us last year, all had good years, and they're learning. I mean, it's a tough league, as you and I have talked, Tom, over many times over the years. This league is tough in every sport, and they've adjusted to it. I think when you have leadership at the top in Whiteman and Carter and Cornwell, those 6 guys, they push them and they make them better. But we have a good mix, and we've got a talented freshman class too that hopefully we can get some contributions out of those guys throughout the course of the year.
Well, start of the season now, just about 3 weeks away. You will open up at the Snowbird Classic in Port Charlotte, Florida. This year's schedule down there, very formidable. Likes of Carthage College, top 25 team, top 10 team. Mount St. Joseph, a team that also receiving votes. Ohio Wesleyan, one of the regional powers in the area. Rival Bluffton, always a good game, just to name a few. Will this be a good measuring stick for the Muskies?
Well, it's going to be an interesting measuring stick because it's about as good a schedule as we played down in Florida. It's one of the reasons we moved from Fort Myers to Port Charlotte is to play a schedule like this and find out where we're at. One of the things I think that goes unnoticed down in Florida is matchups. I mean, where you find guys, we might be throwing our number 1 versus someone's number 5, and vice versa. And you've got to find out how good you are. I think that one of the things that concerns me going down is that we have yet to have, I think we're on practice number 13 today, we have yet to have a full squad due to injuries or sickness. We're missing Van Meter, hasn't thrown since day 1. We'll find out where we can get him. I think one of the issues will be if he can't have 2 starts down in Florida, someone else is going to have to step up. But, when you've got 6 seniors and you've got All-American Player of the Year candidate hitting the middle of the lineup, and Brock and Wes are going to be in our top career-wise in our hitting. You put those 2 guys in your lineup and surround us, we should be able to compete with everyone down there.
And then when you turn to Ohio, the schedule doesn't lighten up at all. The Muskingham Invitational coming to New Concord this year, and basically what you've done is you're bringing the best talent in the nation to New Concord. How did this come about?
Well, it started with having made phone calls to try to get people to come play us, and no one wanted to play us. And I started calling around to other high conference schools, and Brian Brewer down at Marietta says, "Hey, I can't get anyone to come play us." So we decided that let's get together for a couple weekends and see if we can invite people to come up and play good at high conference schools. And the outside of the high conference, when you get out into Indiana, and that they want to come play a high conference because that's an in-region RPI game for them. And then when you got Rose-Hulman, a regional team coming in, and then the following weekend we've got Montclair State coming in from New Jersey, driving all the way out, and they've won a couple national titles, so it's going to be exciting time. I just hope that March in Ohio, that the weather holds, and we can come and showcase our university, and bring those teams in and have two really good weekends.
You talked about the OAC being a national powerhouse. I mean, I think everyone's aware of that. This year for the Muskies, you've got Heidelberg and Marietta going to come out preseason top 20 teams. What is it that Muskingum's going to have to do to crack into the top of the OAC and contend for a championship?
Well, number one, if you look at us last year, we finished 10-8. We don't field a ground ball against Mount Union. Next guy up hits a home run, we get beat 3-2 on a two-hitter. I mean, our guy throws a two-hitter and we lose. We're at Otterbein, we've got the game one, we drop a fly ball. We've got to make plays when plays need to be made. I mean, we're right there. And these guys have worked awfully hard. They put their time in. But we have to have timely hitting. We have to have consistent fielding. And we've got to have good pitching. And the thing about this league is you better be ready to play every day. And you better bring your A game every day. And one of the things I was hoping was that our Florida schedule and the first 2 weekends back, our record might not indicate how good we are. But I think when we get to high conference play, our schedule should have prepped us to play probably the toughest schedule in the nation.
And how important is it in the OAC play to take care of business at home?
Oh, it's really important. It's a tough place to go out on the road and try to win. So you better win at home. It's one of the things that's funny about our league. Certain teams don't play well in certain places, and you've got to break trends. When you don't play well at a certain place, you got to break trends. You got to find ways to win. But when they come to your place, you better take care of business, and you better bring your A game.
Finally, Coach, one of the things that you've added to the Muskie baseball program over the past several years now is the ability for fans, parents, alumni to listen to every game home and away through the internet broadcasting of Stretch Internet. Can you touch base on that and talk about how important it is to the program?
Well, it's really important to the program. It came around about probably 5 or 6 years ago. I think we've been doing it now. From my mother, who from back east wanted to listen to the games and came to the suggestion. We brought it to you, Tom, and said, hey, this is what we'd like to do. Can we get it put together? And the response from our parents and our fans has been great. I mean, our broadcasters have done a great job. They spend a lot of time on it. To be able to turn on your computer on a game day and catch the game, we try to do a top quality broadcast. We try to do players of the game and recaps and pre-game shows and things like that. But it's also not only exciting for our fans, it's exciting for our players. I mean, they enjoy that people can turn the computer on and listen to our radio show and listen to our games and things like that. And it's important aspect, and it's a good selling point in recruiting that. To parents that they can listen. If they can't make it to the game, they can always catch the Muskies on the internet.
Coach, I want to thank you today for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here on the Inside the Huddle Special Edition Baseball Preview Show, and wish you the best of luck in the 2010 campaign.
Thanks, Tom.